Once upon a time, in a quiet village nestled deep in the mountains, lived a humble lantern keeper named Ilara. Every night, she walked up a long and winding path to the highest peak, where a great lighthouse stood. The beacon she lit guided travelers through the dense fog that covered the valley below, preventing them from losing their way. But few knew that Ilara herself was struggling, quietly battling a heavy darkness of her own. Life had dealt her more sorrow than she could bear. She had lost loved ones, dreams, and at times even hope. There were nights when the burden of her grief felt unbearable, and the thought of climbing the mountain seemed too much. One evening, when the weight of her pain felt like it might finally crush her, Ilara paused at the base of the mountain. Her hands trembled, her heart was heavy, and the thought of lighting the lantern felt pointless. Why do I continue this journey? Who will light my way when I am lost? She whispered into the night. Just as she was about to turn back, an old man with kind eyes appeared, as if out of nowhere. He had seen many winters and carried a walking stick with carvings that told the stories of his life. "You look tired, child," the old man said softly. Ilara nodded. "I am. I've been lighting the lantern for years, guiding others. But tonight, I feel like I cannot go on. The fog within me is too thick, and I see no light of my own." The old man smiled, his eyes twinkling with wisdom. "The light you tend each night is not just for the travelers below. It shines for you too." Ilara frowned, not understanding. "How can that be?" "I cannot feel its warmth." The old man pointed toward the dark path leading up the mountain. "The journey you take every night, step by step, is the light. Every step you choose to take through the fog of your mind, through your pain and sorrow, brings you closer to the top. And at the top, when you light that lantern, you do it not just for others, but for yourself. You remind yourself that you are capable of bringing light into this world, even when it feels like you cannot." Tears welled in Ilara's eyes. She hadn't thought of it that way before. Her journey, though difficult, had purpose. Every night she had chosen to climb, she was choosing life, hope, and strength, even when it felt absent. The old man continued, "We all carry our own fog. Some days it's thicker than others. But as long as you keep moving forward, even when you don't see the light, you are already winning. You are creating it." With that, the man turned and walked back into the mist. Leaving Ilara standing at the base of the mountain, she took a deep breath, wiped her tears, and slowly began her ascent. The climb was no easier that night, but each step felt lighter with the realization that her struggle was not in vain. When she reached the lighthouse, Ilara lit the lantern, watching as the light pierced through the thick fog below. She smiled, realizing that no matter how lost she felt, there was always a light, one she carried within her, and each night she climbed, she kept that light alive. And so, Ilara continued her journey, one step at a time, through the fog and the pain. She learned that, though the darkness may return, so too would the light, as long as she kept moving forward. And in her heart, she knew that even when you feel lost in your own suffering, the smallest steps forward are victories, and the light within you can guide not only others, but yourself.